Hi guys, welcome to Soulful Guide and welcome to my home. It's an absolute pleasure to have you guys here. And as you can tell from the title of the video, remember who you are. And so it happens to the best of us. And so I'm going to speak from my experience, and I'm also going to just channel whatever spirit tells me to channel while I'm making this video. And so I am just wanting to share from my heart, really. This is huge because of what's going on in the world right now. I want us to remain centered and grounded, and so that is why I'm channeling these messages for us to grow and still be and still become who we were ultimately made to be. And so you are powerful. There's nobody else like you. And I want you to always remember that no matter what is going on with you currently, you are still beautiful, you are still powerful, and you are still very important to a lot of people, right? Um Things that will help us sometimes to forget these things are circumstances, heartbreak, trauma, disappointments, not having all of the resources that we need to actually fulfill or complete that which we are called to do. So sometimes we take the cheaper route, sometimes we shun it because, we're sad or whatever it is that's happening with us at the time, disappointed, heartbroken. And so I want you to recognize that this is your responsibility. You have 101% the facts to move forward at all times. You have the power to move forward into becoming who you truly are. And so, with saying that circumstances will cause us to shrink back, you chose it because of choice. You couldn't allow yourself to do the work that you needed to do at a particular time. So that is another thing that can actually allow you to lose track of what you really are, of who you really are. And so just to say this, to say that we also can be misled by others. There's a lot of people in our life that we look up to, and a lot of people in our life that we want to get advice from. And sometimes we take the advice from those persons and they don't really fit our current situation, our current life circumstances. And so that will in itself help us to deter from our actual root, right? And so I want us to start to begin to look on our circumstances. They're not our final destination. I want you to begin to choose who you truly are, not because of what society tells us. We want to open our hearts to recognizing that you always have a choice to be your best self, and to sit with that, right? Um, Remember that advice is important, and the people in your life, they're important. But remember that you are the one that has to live with every advice or every encouragement or every circumstances that you're facing. You, not them, not they, you. So always bring it back to home. Is this sitting with me? Is this okay? It is also okay to say no, right? So many times we were taught by society to actually look at that person and say, and in the truth and the act of the moment, we sometimes compare ourselves. And so I want us to recognize that it's not about comparing, because we have a different role to play, we have a different assignment, we have a different calling. And so if you continually compare yourself to somebody, you're going to take a different shape. And I don't want you to do that. I want you to recognize that you were created with much purpose. You're literally a masterpiece in itself. And so the moment you decide to be somebody else, you will not apprehend, you will not attract the things that are truly meant for you. Listen, when you walk in your true divine um personality, you attract far more than being comparing your by comparing yourself to somebody else, because what you're doing is limiting the universe and God to give you what you deserve. And so be inspired, but do not compare yourself. Never, never do that. And I want to give an example, right? Not because I wear a size 10 shoes and you wear a size 10 shoes, meaning that my shoes can fit you. Remember, some people have wide weight, flat foot, and all of that. And so be inspired, but do not compare yourself. And I'm going to say it again. Be inspired, but do not compare yourself to others, because it will rob you of who you truly are. Remember again, it is okay to say no to things that are not serving you. It is okay to take advice, but it's also okay to sit with yourself and allow your soul, your spirit, and your intuition to say, this is for me or this is not for me. It is okay to say no to your parents. It is okay to say no to your spouse. It is okay to say no to your children. It is okay to say no to a counselor. It is okay to say no to a life coach. It is okay to say no to the people in your life. It is healthy. It is a healthy attribute that will help you to become your truest authentic self, right? And so I want you to remember these things. We are always changing and we're always transforming. What happens in change, we may never know. Change is sometimes very unpredictable. We can't know what we will look like after going through a series of disappointment, hurt, heartbreaks, and so on. So I always want you to come back to recognizing that you're moving forward consistently. We're spinning, right? Are we? Yeah, the earth is moving. And so we are moving too. And so when you apprehend that right now, that you're consistently moving from one state to the next stage, you will recognize that you have the power to transform your life. I want you to recognize that transitioning or moving from one place to the next is a part of who you are. You're never meant to stay this one person. You're allowed to bend, break, reshape, reform, unlearn, all of those things. And so give yourself the grace as you're recognizing who you are and who you're becoming at another level. And so I wanted to give you a few guidelines, and I'm going to use my phone. I made these notes for us. All right, unlearning. So I'm going to give you 3 things that can help you to, if it makes sense to you, if it connects with you, if it resonates with you. Remember that my videos are to inspire, to help transform, and to empower. So if this resonates with you, please feel free to try these things. So 1, unlearn. We have to unlearn a lot of what society taught us, because all of us can go to university. All of us can look the same, right? And so we have to recognize that you may not marry at 20. You may not get a degree at 26. You may not have a child until you're probably 30. And so we have to recognize that we have to unlearn a lot of what society tells us. You can't, if you're a square, you cannot fit yourself into a circle. That there's no way it can happen. You have to be a square to fit a square into a square. And so all of us are different. And so society can mislead us to not recognizing our true selves. I want it, guys. The next point is to reshape. Every day is an opportunity to choose to reshape, to reform, to transform. All right. We may have allowed a lot of our percept, the way how we perceive things, to bend us and twist us out of position. And so we have to reshape with what works for us, with what is feeling good, what feels right for us. Because at the end of the day, we have ourselves. We have to sit and deal with every dirty, nasty thing that comes. And so we have to not walk and be like this because of what happened to us, but we have to recognize that we can sit back, relax, and enjoy the show. Listen, life is like a show, a movie. You're the main character in it, and you have the ability to reshape and transform at any given time. And so always remember that. I also want to share that things that could have happened to you that allow you to be disformed, out of shape, out of body is trauma, heartbreaks, and those things happen not to kill us, not to stifle us, but to make us stronger. So always remember that. And if you're not in that place where you can actually apprehend that heartbreaks make you stronger, that's okay. Okay? On relearning, you have to start listening to your heart. What does it that your heart wants? What is it that your soul is saying? Do now, try now, reach out to, right? So in your relearning stage, it's going to be about you and what you think and about what you want. So if something is picking at you right now, a desire that you had for a very long time, you want some answers for who you truly are, you have to start paying attention to what the heart is telling you, whether to seek advice, whether to meditate, whether to go in nature, whatever it is that is happening to you right now, it is happening because you are becoming, you're remembering who you are. And so trust your intuition in this relearning stage. And I will talk about intuition further on. Take responsibility for your life. It is your life. It is not your mother's life. It is not your husband's life. It is not your father's life. It is not your children's life. It is your life. So when you are relearning, you cannot bring blame into it because you have to take responsibility for yourself. Remember again, in closing, that you are the creator of your reality. So remembering who you are is work. You have to put the work in. And because you have to put the work in, it will be beneficial to you and to others that are around you and serving you, the people that you will serve and serving yourself. And so this was a message from Spirit. Spirit wanted me to remind you that you ought to remember who you are. And so it was a pleasure again, just to create this content for you. And please remember to like, share, and subscribe if you wish. And also have a good day. Have a good day and see you in my next video. Peace and love to you.